Well, for 30 years now, consumer groups and medical professionals have been pushing the FDA to limit the amount of sodium packaged in restaurant food.
In 2009, dozens of companies joined the National Sodium Reduction Initiative, but going low sodium is proving to be more challenging than expected. Zoya Popova explains.
When Campbell's Soup joined the National Sodium Reduction Initiative, it proudly introduced to the market its new line of Select Harvest soups. The line boasted 480 milligrams of sodium per serving, roughly a third lower than Campbell's traditional varieties. But 2 years later, the company announced it's restoring the sodium to most of its Select Harvest recipes, saying that is what the customers want. Cheese manufacturers and bakers report a similar lack of customer enthusiasm when it comes to their low-sodium products. It seems that although most Americans are aware of the health risks of high sodium intake, they are not quick to embrace the alternatives that the food industry rolls out. This love-hate relationship we have with salt is something Chef Claire Ellison is only too aware of.
We walk a tightrope because if you don't season your food enough, people will perceive your food as bland, and then they won't come back because it's bland.
But at her Solana Beach restaurant, Claire is determined to prove tasty food can be helpful.
There are so many other things that you can season your food with that will change the flavor profile of whatever you're serving, and people won't notice that there's not a lot of salt in it. A little lemon juice or vinegar or a little olive oil. I mean, all these things can really contribute to the flavor of something without adding additional salt, and it's a better way to eat for all of us.
Claire tells us serving healthier foods does take a toll on the bottom line. Making meals that are lower in sodium require more complex recipes, costlier ingredients, and additional staff training. These economic considerations, paired with customers' indifference towards low-sodium foods, may explain why there is so little incentives for companies to reduce sodium voluntarily. For North County News, Zoya Popova.
And the American Heart Association and Institute of Medicine have called voluntary company attempts to curb salt, quote, laudable but woefully insufficient.
The two organizations are currently pushing the FDA to introduce mandatory salt reductions across the industry.